Howdy folks, I'm Proud Pot Pie, powerfully penalizing potato pirates.
I'm Amber.
And here are more buccaneers for us to penalize. Arr! I am not just a potato or pot pie, I'm a potato pirate pot pie. Let's get started. Oh, and folks, there's a live stream coming up tomorrow. Oh my goodness, can you believe it, Amber?
It's hard to believe. It's already the end of the month.
For more details, please see the end of the video. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Cook Thanksgiving Lunch After 15 Years? Well, it took you long enough. I would be angry if it took you 15 years to cook lunch.
Hey, that would be a long time to be waiting for lunch.
For the past 15 years, I, a 38-year-old female, have been the one cooking Thanksgiving lunch, or at least the turkey and most of the food. It's been a tradition, but this year I'm completely burnt out. I'm a teacher with 4 kids ages 2 to 15, and this year has been especially stressful with work, parenting, and school. I just don't have the energy to take on such a big responsibility again. I suggested that my sister-in-law 1, who just moved into a new house, should maybe host this year and could make the turkey. She's a stay-at-home mom with 1 child, 11 months old, so I thought that it wouldn't be too much to ask. My mother-in-law immediately shut that idea down, saying that sister-in-law 1 is unreliable and might not wake up early enough to make it. How was that my problem, though? I then suggested that my brother-in-law's wife could also take on the responsibility. They got married this summer, but have been together for over 5 years. She's never cooked a turkey before, but my mother-in-law said the turkey cooks itself, so I don't see why she can't give it a try. Everyone else shows up to eat every year without lifting a finger. But when I suggest not cooking this year, it's suddenly a crisis. When I told my husband that I wasn't cooking, he said that I'm just resentful because his parents helped sister-in-law 1 buy her house. That's not true. I even suggested sister-in-law 2 could make the turkey. Then he brought up how I'm mad because every time we've had a date night, his parents tell my older daughter, who babysits her siblings, that we're neglecting our responsibilities as parents. I pointed out how that's unfair, but he just said, we're the most stable, so that's why we're always asked to take on more. My husband thinks that my decision not to cook has less to do with stress and more to do with his family. He said that I only decided not to cook after my mom said that she wouldn't be coming over. My mom has been battling breast cancer for the past 10 months and just wants to stay at home this year and avoid being around so many people. Last year, my parents spent Thanksgiving with my sister who couldn't travel, but I still cooked for his family. In the past, I hosted Thanksgiving at our house because my family and siblings were coming over, but I've still made the turkey for his family for the last 15 years, even the years where we hosted only for his side. So the idea that I'm refusing because it's his family isn't true. My husband also said that I have 5 days to rest before Thanksgiving and doesn't understand why I can't just cook the turkey. I explained that I don't want the responsibility of waking up early, making the turkey, and dealing with everyone asking me, is it almost done? For once, I just want to show up, sit down, and eat like everyone else does. He threw in that I've been hosting Thanksgiving for the last 7 years, which I pointed out that's why I'm tired. When I told him that I don't want to do it, he accused me of neglecting my motherly duties, which really hurt. Why should I always be expected to take on the stress of cooking when others don't have to because they can't or don't want to? Well, I don't want to this year either. Am I the jerk for refusing to cook? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk? Or should OP's husband cook the turkey?
Yeah, OP's husband should do this. Like, why is it that only the women in this family are being considered to be hosts? Like, the only place I think OP went wrong was trying to volunteer other people to do the cooking. I think it's fair to say I'm not doing it and then let everyone else figure things out, but
Yeah.
it's not fair to volunteer other women to do this
Yeah.
and let the guys all off the hook.
Well, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I think that OP is well within the right to refuse to host Thanksgiving. I think that it's perfectly fine, and they can say, look, I'm not hosting Thanksgiving this year. I don't care who does it, but someone else needs to work out the logistics.
Right, and just tell husband if it's so easy, then he can handle it all and
Yeah.
go to a hotel or somewhere else so that you're not, because we all know that OP's husband, if he agrees to host it, it's probably going to let, oh, can you help me with this and this? I just don't know how to do it. And pretty soon OP's doing everything herself all over again.
Yeah.
So just remove yourself from the situation entirely. Go on like a spa day or to a hotel or something for a day and enjoy yourself and let them all figure it out.
Or OP can just go over to their mother's house and have Thanksgiving there. take the children and go. I mean, that at least might feel a little bit more of a like a close knit type of group that she would want to spend time with.
Yeah, it might. It might be also be hard though to wrangle four children, one of whom is two,
Yeah.
on a flight. I don't know how far away Opie's mom is,
Oh,
but
I didn't get the sense that it was that far away,
it might
but
not be that far. I don't know.
because they've come to their house in the past, so it sounds like the mother is just not coming this year because it's too much. There are too many people, and not so much that it's like a long journey or anything.
Right. Although it might also not be good for her immune system if with like four small children.
What do you think of all his excuses?
I mean, his excuses are nonsense. And he's like, well, we take on more responsibility because we're the most responsible. I don't see you doing anything,
Yeah,
dude.
OP is taking on the responsibility because she's more responsible.
And be like, it's your motherly duty. What's your fatherly duty,
Yeah,
dude?
yeah,
Like, it seems like everyone in this family is just like, OP needs to do this cooking because reasons.
yeah,
She's a
yeah,
woman and she's responsible. And
exactly.
it's like, he can step up, he can do it.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Expecting Not to Have to Pay for Thanksgiving Groceries? Edit to update. I hope this is permitted. I did cancel this entirely, and thank you to everyone for your kind advice and encouragement. We will be having dinner at home instead. I have never posted on here before, so my apologies if I have made any mistakes. I'm a 54-year-old female, and I've been invited by a friend, a 50-year-old female who we'll call Anne, to come to her house for Thanksgiving. We all live in Italy, but spent many years in the US, and have several American friends in the area. Anne heard that I made the traditional Thanksgiving dinner at my house every year for my family and a couple of friends, 6 people in total. It's quite difficult to get all of the supplies here, no buying canned pumpkin or cranberry sauce, so I make every single thing from scratch. Over the years, I've also acquired all the dishes and tools and spices, know the suppliers for more exotic things, and am an all-around good cook. So Anne, who was born in China but lived in the US for 20 plus years, asked if I could come to her beautiful and much bigger home and teach her how to make the whole dinner for a group of 12 people instead of the usual 6. I was hesitant at first because we live a very modest lifestyle, and Anne and her British husband are very well off, but I figured that it would still be fun and I would enjoy putting on a feast for new people in a beautiful kitchen. After I agreed, the problems began. First, Anne wanted to have the dinner on the day that isn't Thanksgiving to make it more convenient. I decided that it wasn't all that important since we live in Italy. So I scheduled for the Sunday prior to the actual day. Then, when we were planning to meet to go shopping for all the ingredients, she asked if I could do all the shopping and would then reimburse her for half. I asked what she meant, and she said that she would be paying for half of everything. So not only would I be doing all the shopping, all of the planning, and all the cooking and teaching her as well, but now I'm expected to pay for half of the food? I told her that I could not do this. We really don't have the budget. So now she's trying to alter the menu that she agreed to. Turkey and fixings, candied yams, roasted veggies, and an appetizer and pie. Really a modest dinner by American standards. She then made a comment that her friends don't eat like pigs. She then went to another guest with my recipes and asked her to prepare my pumpkin pie so she didn't have to buy the ingredients. Bear in mind that Anne and her husband are very wealthy. I'd estimate that the whole dinner for a 12 might cost around 200 euros for all the ingredients and my labor Anne gets for free. She thinks that I'm being stubborn and ungenerous, for example, a jerk. My family thinks that Anne is taking advantage of my kindness and her miserly ways are ridiculous, since she spent double that amount for a lunch out on a whim. So, am I the jerk for refusing to contribute to the meal or be bullied into this nonsense? My family wants me just to bow out and tell her that I'm not comfortable with her attitude. I'm tempted because this feels toxic and manipulative. And as we know from the update, it was, and she left. All right, folks, what do you think?
Definitely not the jerk. I mean, it definitely does feel exploitive. Like, AOP was very generous to offer to even come prepare this meal for all these people. Like, that's a lot of free labor to be doing. To be expected then to pay for half of all the groceries, like, even no matter what Anne's budget is, that's still not a fair ask. The fact that she's wealthy only makes it that much worse, but like, it's still not a kind thing to like basically ask someone for free labor and then ask them to subsidize your meal for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there needed to be some kind of understanding ahead of time that this was going to be the case. And like if she had made it known, like, oh, why don't we combine Thanksgivings and split the costs or something like that, right? Then I think that would have been one thing. But with the fact that OP is going to be doing a disproportionate amount of the work here, I think that makes it a little harder to justify putting half of the cost on OP.
Right, like Opie is playing the role of teacher here, so she's going to end up doing basically everything while her friend just kind of like watches on.
And the friend should be joining them for grocery shopping too.
Hmm.
And so I'm a little afraid of what this means for everything else. I think what it really boils down to is that her idea of teaching Anne's idea of being taught is just having OP do it all.
That's my guess. Is she's just trying to have this meal subsidized. She wants this fancy meal. She doesn't want to pay for it, and she also doesn't want to put in the labor. So she's like, "Oh, I'll just have OP do everything."
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Cook a Separate Meal for My In-Laws at Thanksgiving? I'm a 30-year-old female, and I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year for the first time ever. My husband, a 32-year-old male, and I recently bought a house, and we were excited to finally have space to host a big family event. My in-laws, mother-in-law, 58-year-old female, and father-in-law, 60-year-old male, have been critical of me since day one, but I was determined to make this holiday special and hopefully smooth things over. Here's the issue. My husband and I are pescatarians. While we don't expect others to eat the way that we do, we don't cook meat in our house. For Thanksgiving, I planned a beautiful meal with seafood, lots of veggies, dishes, and a few traditional sides like stuffing and mashed potatoes, all meat-free of course. I also offered to let anyone bring a dish that they would like and I wouldn't be able to make, and I even borrowed a neighbor's crock pot so someone could heat up a turkey if they wanted to bring one. When I shared the menu with my mother-in-law, she immediately blew up. She said that Thanksgiving isn't Thanksgiving without a turkey cooked by the host and accused me of being selfish and disrespectful to family traditions. I calmly explained that I wasn't comfortable cooking meat in my home, but reminded her that they were welcome to bring one. She scoffed and said that it was offensive that I wouldn't just get over myself for one day. The next day, my father-in-law called my husband to say that if I didn't step up, that they wouldn't come at all, which would ruin the family holiday. My husband backed me up and told them that it's our house, our rules, and that they were being unreasonable. Now my in-laws are accusing me of being exclusionary, forcing my beliefs on others, and disrespecting their family traditions. My husband says that they're being ridiculous, but I can't help but feel guilty. I never wanted to create a divide in the family, but I also feel like I should have some boundaries in my own home. Am I the jerk for refusing to cook a traditional turkey for Thanksgiving? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. And I like how OP's husband is conveniently being let out of all of this. Like, he's part of the family that's hosting too.
Yeah.
Why are they piling all on OP and like, you need to cook a turkey with your bare hands or it's not Thanksgiving? First of all, you can have Thanksgiving without turkey. I've had many Thanksgivings without turkey. Secondly, OP has even invited them to bring a turkey. So if they want turkey on Thanksgiving, they are welcome to bring one.
Yeah.
She's not forcing her beliefs on anyone. She's just saying, like, I personally will not cook this. And thirdly, why would you want someone who's not cooked a turkey before to cook a turkey for the first time? Like, that's a recipe for food poisoning.
Well, or just like not necessarily the most appetizing turkey, right?
Yeah.
Because it might be dry, it might have other issues. I think that this is really a matter of them trying to force their beliefs on OP
Yeah.
and not the other way around. OP is giving them opportunities to bring their own food. Oh, it's not like OP is saying you can't bring any meat items into the house. They're just saying that they don't want to cook them personally. And I think that's a fair boundary to draw. It isn't fair to expect somebody who has ethical qualms about cooking meat to cook meat, right?
Yeah, like if I would not cook a turkey for Thanksgiving, and it's not something I'm comfortable doing. So I'm 100% on OP's side here. And again, I think her compromise that they can bring their own turkey is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our last letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving a First Date Because His Mom Came Along? So I'm a 23-year-old female, and I went on a first date last week with a guy that I matched with on Hinge. We'll call him Jake, a 25-year-old male. We've been chatting for a few weeks now, and he seemed like a solid, funny guy, good taste in music, and even remembered that I love Italian food. He planned the date at this nice little spot in Dallas, which I thought was sweet. I showed up and everything was fine at first. He's already there and we hug, and he even complimented my outfit. But like 5 minutes later, I sit down. This older woman walks in. Jake stands up, waves her over, and says, "This is my mom." I thought that I misheard him for a second. She sits down at the table, all casual, and starts introducing herself to me like this is normal. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I'm being pranked. I kind of laugh nervously and I say, "Oh, I didn't know that you were bringing anyone." And he goes, "Oh, she just wanted to meet you. Don't worry, it's not a big deal." But it was a big deal because she didn't just stop by to say hi, she ordered wine and stayed. The whole time, she just asked me these personal questions about my job, my family, and if I want kids someday. It was like an interview, not a date. Jake barely said anything, he just smiled and kept nodding like it was all normal. After about 20 minutes of this, I couldn't take it anymore. I said that I wasn't feeling great and I needed to leave. I texted him later saying that I didn't think that it would work out and I wished him well. Now I feel kind of bad. My roommate says that I did the right thing because honestly, who brings their mom to a first date? But my coworker said that it was rude just to leave and maybe his mom was just super close to him or nervous for him or whatever. Was I wrong for walking out? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, you weren't wrong. I mean, you can leave a date for any reason. You were getting uncomfortable with the situation. And I can see why, because this kind of has hints of like boundary setting issues.
Yeah.
It would be one thing if his mom just happened to casually walk by and like they just exchanged pleasantries or something. But her grilling you like at the job interview on a first date seems a bit excessive and makes me wonder how involved she is in his life.
Well, if I had been the mom and I accidentally walked in on my son having a first date with a girl, the first reaction I'm going to have is to walk out of the a restaurant and be
Exactly.
like, this is not going to be a time for me to introduce myself, right? Not out of like being mean or
No,
anything
but
like
like
that.
let them have their privacy.
Yeah, like this is a matter of like, oh, your son is dating somebody and if you want them to have their space and their boundaries and be their own person, you don't want to just like intrude on this and then interview her for 20 minutes, asking about things that he should be asking about.
Right. She should be getting to know Jake better.
Yeah.
Instead, she's getting to know his mom's expectations.
Yeah. And like there are some questions that you don't ask on a first date, like, do you want children? Maybe that's a first quick date question or not. I don't know.
I mean, it really varies depending on people. And sometimes if people are very adamantly child free, they
Yeah.
will make it clear from day one that this is not something I want.
Yeah.
It's really up to the individual. But to be grilled by his mom about that, I think, again, like, it shows a lack of separation between him and his mom.
I'm surprised she didn't ask OP to stand up and was like, those are some good childbearing hips that you've got there. You would put those to good use for my son someday. I mean, it's just wildly inappropriate what the
Hmm.
mother has done here. She should have known better. And I don't know how the coworker is thinking that this is justified, unless, of course, this is common for them.
I mean, it could be the coworker is like, and there's nothing wrong with having a close relationship with your parents,
Oh,
right?
no, of course not.
But there should be healthy boundaries, they should not be dictating your life. And my concern is it seems like the mom wants to like pick out his girlfriend and make sure that she's satisfactory and lives up to her standards.
Hmm.
And this should be a Jake decision, not a mom decision.
Yeah, I don't think that Jake is going to have much luck at all in the
Hmm.
dating arena if this continues on. And I think like maybe that's what's needed until he can grow a spine and not have his mom there interviewing all his candidates.
Right. Well, and I mean, there are some people who might, like, if he was going to have his mom there, he should have given Opie the heads
Oh,
up to
for
begin with.
100%, yeah.
Like, just to like let her know and see if she was comfortable with that. Because there might be some reasons why someone might need their mom there or someone else to support them, like if they have a lot of anxiety or something. Like, I can fathom reasons why someone might want a supportive presence, ideally not a parent, but someone there to help them.
Well,
But
I'm
they
sorry.
but they should have been upfront if that was going to be the case.
I mean, I don't know if they would have needed to be upfront necessarily. If they had had a person who was like on lookout for them, sitting at another table, eating dinner or something like that. Because I have heard people doing, where they're not sure about a blind date or something where they'll just have someone stake out for them to keep an eye on them to make sure that things aren't going badly or anything like that. So that they can like make sure to text them or call them or something like that.
Well, I mean, if they're sitting down at the dinner with them.
Yeah. If they were at the dinner with them, for sure they needed to actually know about this ahead of time, though.
Because you should know how many people are going to be at your table and who you're actually dealing with.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. And I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
What kind of pet does Dracula want the most?
Dracula wants a tarantula because tarantula and Dracula sound very good together. Dracula's tarantula crawls all over the coffins.
A bloodhound.
A bloodhound? That kind of makes it sound like Dracula's drinking the dog's blood, which is kind of something that I object to. I don't object to them drinking human blood, mind you, just dog blood. It's not natural.
Natural.
And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior, folks.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Happy Thanksgiving to all who celebrate.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates. And folks, we have a live stream coming up tomorrow. Can you believe it? I can't. Amber, we're going to need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving isn't about the turkey. It's about spending time with the people you love.
That's some great advice. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Here's the issue. My husband and I are Presbyterians.
My husband and I are Presbyterians.